All right, we're back. Part 2. This is the escaped Civil War slave who impersonated a Confederate captain. This is about Robert Smalls. You saw in the first video. I still have it here. It's the book. This is not the book that's, but this is just about his life. No, have not read it yet. Haven't read it. My apologies. But before we get started, oh, did I not do this last time? I forgot. Well, click on that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You want to sponsor a video? Click on the thanks button and donate. You can still request videos without donating. Just takes a little more time. And video. We're going to finish this one up.
For several days, the crew waits for their opportunity. Smalls has his chances, but he's interested in more than just his freedom.
Smalls wanted to carry something besides the steamer out to the Yankees. We were daily engaged in transporting guns and munitions, and he had his eye on 4 big guns.
Finally, on May 12, 1862, the big guns are loaded onto the planter. This night was going to be the night.
He was either going to fail and was going to die that night.
Anybody else here?
Or he was going to, get to that federal blockade and he was going to be free. That was how much freedom meant to him. That's how much, protecting his family meant to him.
I think that's how much freedom means to everybody. You're willing to sacrifice a lot. So I'm not looking at this thinking, oh, he did a miracle. I think anyone in that situation who could have would have tried at least. I don't know if they would have succeeded. That's probably a different story, but I think everyone in that situation can relate to what he did and understand.
But another complication.
Every night for the 2 weeks previously, the 3 white officers had gone ashore as soon as the boat tied up. But on this occasion, the mate announced that he would sleep aboard.
So what we gonna do? We either lock him up in the stateroom or we kill him.
Oh, I ain't ready to kill nobody, Robert. That wasn't part of the plan.
What about for our families? We ain't never killed nobody before.
Right, Robert. It was finally decided to go ahead.
Mr. Hancock.
Huh. Miss Barnett.
But we had scarcely come to the conclusion when the man went ashore and thus saved his own bacon.
Hey, Robert. Watch the boat for a minute.
Yes, sir.
It's all yours till I get back.
Alone on the ship, the crew readies for departure.
Go down to the morning room, Gordine. We gotta get that steam going. Come on, come on, come on.
Smalls races home to tell Hannah to gather the families.
We're leaving, Hannah, tonight. Gather all the women and get them down to the boat. Now remember, don't tell them why.
Go. Go. Come on, Lydia, let's go. Let's go.
Although the planter's white crew has left the boat, the threat of the families being caught after curfew by slave patrols is very real.
Is that all the women?
All of them. That's all right, Robert. Let's go. We're with you. Okay, everyone.
Now, I know it's late, but we invited you here for a reason. I want everybody to pay attention. Robert got something to say. Robert, lead the way.
Now, I know what all you thinking. And thank my wife, Hannah, for bringing you all. But we stand. We taking the ship.
Now, ladies, calm down. Calm down and listen to what he got to say. Please, let Robert speak.
Now, we gotta keep quiet before somebody hears now. And I know what I'm talking about. The cabinet and the officers are in town. Now, we're gonna steam this boat down the harbor. We're gonna give it to the Union. Now, after curfew, we're gonna take all the women and the children down to the rowboats. And then we'll pick you all up once we leave the city.
I know it's dangerous, but we gonna protect y'all. And we're gonna be with y'all the whole way. So y'all ain't got nothing to worry about.
Please. I believe in Robert. Believe in him too.
To freedom.
To freedom. To freedom.
Y'all hear that? All right, now that's curfew now. Let's go, Liv. Keep quiet.
They knew enough to realize that every man of us would be shot or hung if the attempt was a failure. If Robert Smalls had had the grit of a bulldog, he would have let go.
Smalls sends the passengers a few blocks upriver where there isn't as much surveillance. They still have 3 long hours to wait before it will be light enough to launch.
Check the boiler feed pump!
For a full hour, the crew waits for the boat's engines to heat up.
Gonna let out some steam?
At this point, they can't do anything to limit the sound of the boilers or the sight of the smoke beginning to pour out of the stack. Finally, around 3 a.m., in the darkness and the fog, it is time to push off.
Gordine and John, say full steam ahead.
Thank you. Lord, please be with us on this fateful journey.
First, they pick up the families at the arranged meeting place upriver.
Go ahead, get the lady.
I got it.
Then together, the 16 crew and passengers continue out of the harbor.
Once clear of the wharf and headed down the bay, we ran at slow speed. Smalls in the pilot house and staring by the compass held her right down the channel, flying the Confederate flag as usual.
They pass by Fort Ripley and Fort Johnson, slowly and without issue. Then, with the morning beginning to light,
Full steam, boys.
Robert said we need more.
Well, I'm gonna need more coal.
Alfred Gordine and the crew struggle to keep up.
This was an incredibly audacious act. It was an act that required ingenuity, bravery, a willingness to throw everything at this and make a run for it.
John, what else you got up there to burn?
Even though Robert knew how to sail this boat and knew where the federal blockade was and knew that if he could get there he'd be free, no one ever thought that Robert would act on all of those things. You know, there was a general conception that people of African descent didn't have agency and control over their lives.
What's this? What? What am I supposed to do with this? Well, that's all we got. Use it.
With the morning fog beginning to break, Smalls needs to hide his identity.
Thank you, Lord. Almost there, everybody. This one last thing.
They are approaching the heavily armed Fort Sumter. Beyond its cannons, the open ocean. A huge boom made of logs, meant to keep the U.S. Navy out, forces Smalls to steer close to Sumter and pass through a narrow channel.
When we drew near the fort, every man but Robert Smalls felt his knees giving away, and women began crying and praying again.
We're gonna need your help, Father. We're gonna need your help on this one.
From the pilot house, impersonating Captain Relier, Smalls steers the planter along the right flank of Fort Sumter.
Everybody get down.
He gives the signal and waits for the countersign.
Oh, Lord. Please be with us.
Blow the damn Yankees to hell! Or rain one of them in!
Aye.
Smalls kept that steamer right on her course, and when she was opposite the fort, he saluted with a whistle and added an extra toot as a farewell to the Confederacy.
By now, Charleston Harbor has begun to wake up and to realize what has just happened.
Where's the boat? Where's the boat? I don't know.
The planter and its passengers are beyond the reach of Confederate guns, but they aren't yet in the clear.
Almost there, boys.
With Fort Sumter in its wake, the planter heads east toward the Union blockade. Though Smalls is an expert navigator, the planter was built for rivers and coasts, not the open ocean.
Where's the best sheet? Check with my wife, Hannah. She has it. Okay. Hurry now. Now, Gordon, give it everything you got now.
Robert says we need to give him more.
I'm trying as hard as I can!
I was just about to say, if you went back, take that door off and start breaking it down and using that as fuel if you have to. I mean, you need fuel. You got to start breaking that boat apart if you want to survive. Use everything you can.
What am I supposed to tell Robert? Figure it out!
If it's flammable, throw it in there, as long as it's not exploding.
Oh, work I do. I should be the captain of my own boat.
You will be the captain of your own boat.
Oh, Lord, please guard us and guide us to the land of freedom.
Smalls knows he is approaching heavily armed United States ships.
On deck! Steamship! Up the starboard beam!
Petty officer of the deck! Aye, sir. Sound the bells. All hands on deck. Aye, sir. Man the bell gun! Stand by to repel boarders! You see the guns on
clipper ship?
I sure do. Now get that flag down and get that white bear seat up, man.
He wants to draw their attention without drawing their fire.
Sir, guns are manned and ready.
Stand by.
Aye, aye.
Hey, you gotta hurry now. Get that white bear seat up, man.
Sir, can we fire? Sir.
Hold your fire.
Aye, aye.
Stop, or I will blow you out the water!
Shut down the engines! Shut down the engines! We surrender! We surrender!
Stand down!
We made it. We actually made it. You did it, Robert.
No, we did.
No, you did it, Robert. We're free.
Well,
We're actually free.
let's pump the brakes right now because I don't know what's about to happen. I don't think they're going to turn you back around, but let's be free before we're saying we're free.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Come on, let's go round everybody up.
You got it, Captain.
So Robert Smalls and those on that boat with him forced the United States to recognize the significance of freedom, of how much enslaved people have hated this oppressive system and will destroy it from within.
Good morning, sir. I present to you the CSS Planter, and I'm the pilot, along with the United States guns that were headed to Fort Sumner, sir, along with all the code books and where the torpedoes were laid down in the harbor.
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
Yes, sir. Along with my crew, Gordine, my brother John, and Andrew, sir.
And what's your name?
Robert Smalls.
I believe it's Captain Robert Smalls.
Captain John Nichols. That's quite a feat, young man. Why don't you gather the women and children, get them some rations?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Delivering the planter to the United States in the Civil War was an enormous gain.
I told the boys.
The military intelligence that Robert was able to deliver, where mines were throughout the Low Country and some of the plans that Robert had overheard. The Union used that military intelligence to plan the largest naval exercise in the Civil War up to that time.
We're free now, boys. We're free.
He didn't just do something that was daring and adventurous. It really had an impact and made sure the war ended with the outcome of freedom for 4 million people.
Let's go get everybody.
The extraordinary journey of Robert Smalls didn't end with the capture of the planter. He would go on to enlist in the war effort, piloting the planter and other ships for the U.S. Navy. He would meet with Abraham Lincoln and help convince the president to allow hundreds of thousands of African Americans to fight for the Union. And with the reward he received from the United States government for the capture of the planter, he'd hired tutors to teach him to read and write. And he would return to the home where he was born into slavery and purchase it.
So, we are here on the porch of 511 Prince Street. This is Robert Small's home. Robert Smalls has been a really powerful part of my consciousness, of my identity. And because I knew who I was descended from, I knew that Robert Smalls was my great-great-grandfather and that he had done great things in his life. Every time I come here, I'm overwhelmed by the history here. I'm overwhelmed. I just am so deeply moved by standing in spaces that my ancestors stood in. It would have been so easy. Robert and Hannah and his children, they could have just very easily kind of waited out, the Civil War and sort of seen what would happen. But Robert, took his future, in his own hands, and it's just deeply moving, and I, just being here gives me chills every time.
I'm just gonna get myself out of the picture right now because I'm just in the way. Let's go back. What? No. You go over here. You stop that.
Just being here gives me chills every
It's a
time.
nice home, I will say that. Wow. Well, that was really good. That was really good. Wow. Okay. Well, that was really interesting. There's a couple more people that, like slaves, that names I know that I would like to find videos on. I think that'd be really cool. One is Paul Jennings and William Lee, or Billy Lee, which is Washington's manservant. Paul Jennings was fourth president James Madison's kind of manservant. He was freed. The distortion that's happening over here is because I have a window open and the light is reflecting and coming through and it's getting on the screen behind me. So I apologize for that, but we're going to be in the video here. So anyways, but I'd like to cover those other ones too. But we're going to go ahead and end this here. So hope you enjoyed. Until next time, have a good day. Have a good night.